Now then, people say, as far as always want to know, how do you turn a horse? If you have a horse that's going around here, and the horse is right here, and you want to turn that horse, the tendency for a lot of people that start out is to dash here to try and cut the horse off. When the horse sees you coming close here, what happens is that he just picks up speed, and by the time you get here, it's a race to see which one is going to get past that point first, and invariably, because the horse has 2 more legs than you do, he'll go around there faster than you do. So, in other words, if you have a horse that is going around and you want to turn that horse, rather than coming here to close him off, you just simply come over here and be waiting when he comes around. He'll come around, he'll see you, and what he'll do is he'll stop. And then he'll go back the other way, and then he'll come this way. He turns into the fence when you do this, because as you're coming here, he realizes that he cannot cut you off. So what happens then is that in order to come here, he has to draw closer to you, because at this time he'll be coming around here, you'll be going up here, and as you get closer here, he has to close this distance. So then what he does, when you're coming up here, instead of closing this distance, he increases the distance by going the opposite way. That is how you turn a horse into the rail in a herd dynamics procedure or a round pen procedure. Now then, if you want the horse to come into you, the horse is here. The horse is here. Horses have binocular vision, one of those visions to where they have a finite focusing distance. That's why you see horses, their heads are going up and down, because they want to keep things within that focusing range. You can take advantage of that and turn the horse away from the fence by using that same action. You have this distance right here. We'll call this the focus distance. Now then, as you move over here, this focus distance, in order for the horse to keep you in focus, he has to come in here as well. And as you keep moving back here, he comes in here. Now he is coming towards you. His body is arced around this way. And as soon as you see him coming around this way towards you, you then move back to this position right here, because his momentum is already circling. It is very difficult for him to suddenly change directions and come this way. He has to come this way, he has to come closer to you, and because you are a leader exhibiting leadership actions, he has to maintain that distance. So then what he does is just continues the arc, and he comes back around this way. To turn the horse into the rail, you block him off here, getting over here. To turn a horse away from the rail, you simply move back away from him until he draws out and comes toward you. At that point, you then move back in, and that'll drive him back into it. Now then, when you are working a horse, quite often you will find that the horse will stop and turn and look at you and say, okay, it'll be an obvious, what is it you want me to do? You've been hollering these directions at me. Okay, what now? It's at that point that you can say, I just want you to be a horse. Because that's all we're asking him to do, is be a horse. And at that point, quite often what will happen is, in the way that you tell him that, is simply by, if he's facing you and he's waiting your direction, you don't give him one. You just kind of like suddenly find, oh, it's very interesting. It's rather interesting down here. That signals to that horse that because I'm not giving you an order, because I'm not directing you what to do, you're not annoying me, you're not getting any attention from me, so to speak. I don't see any need to harass you, I don't see any need to direct you, because you're doing what I want you to do. As long as he's doing what you want him to do, leave him alone. You don't harass him. You just say, okay, that's acceptable. Now then, when you're at that point, he's over there looking at you, and you're over here grazing around, you're doing whatever. That's basically telling him, hey, you know, you're cool. I'm not chasing you away. I'm not harassing you. I'm not doing whatever. You're doing what you're supposed to do. And at that point, he then says, oh, I must be on the good side of the leader. And at that point, they usually come up and stand beside you and say, okay, what now? As you're going to see in whatever filming or whatever video sections that we have following this, you'll see that exhibited time and time again. Now then, if the horse does not do that, people get hung up in the fact that they think that the horse has to follow them. And that is not the purpose of this procedure. The purpose of this procedure is connecting, forming a mental connection, getting on the same wavelength with the horse. Once you do that, then you can tell the horse, follow me, you can tell the horse to do whatever. And the horse has a greater willingness to do that. But if you want the horse to follow you, and the horse is now here, and it's paying, it's looking to see, okay, what is it you want? At that point, as I said earlier, you just stand here, you just graze, you just kind of look around, you kind of do whatever, leave it alone. The chance is very good. He'd come up to you, and he'll stand right beside you. And then you can just casually and nonchalantly move ahead, and he'll follow right along. If he does not, but you want him to, you can do this little business here, this whatever, look at your watch, examine your fingernails, do whatever. And if you look up and he's still standing over there, but you want him over here, you can then say, oh, I don't want you over there. I want you over here. And the way that you can do that is you're telling him, because you are not doing what I want, you're not doing what I want, all of a sudden, we put the pressure on him again. You're not doing what I want. Go here, go there, go here, go there, go here, go there. And this is a procedure that I call short arcing, in that as soon as he starts going one direction, we send him back the other way. As soon as he starts going this way, we send him back this way. Now, ideally, that should be in a very short area to where all you have to do is just this, and each time he sees you, each time he starts going that way, you automatically move that way. Once his body is committed to going in a direction, you then get over there to change him to come back in the other direction. Now, if he ends up going 10 feet or 20 feet, you can only do it here and you can only do it there because you're slow like me. It'll still work. But the thing is that you give him the direction as soon as he obeys that direction, you give him another one called short arcing. You do that about a half a dozen times if it takes that many, and he'll suddenly stop, and he'll look over his shoulder and say, what the H do you want? You told me to go this way, you tell me to go that way, you tell me to go this way. Make up your mind. What do you want? And at that point, you then again say, just want you to be a horse.